And welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the ETBU Women's Soccer Show with head coach Paul Grant. I have a lot to talk about today. Most of it pretty good, Coach. Still unbeaten on the season. Had a weird road trip out to West Texas to start conference play last week. Let's start with Friday's action first. Y'all get out on the field, and unfortunately something that's becoming a kind of an annual tradition around here. You actually get to play a little bit, and then the match is called because of rain. Just kind of tell us exactly what was going on out there.
We are the team. We're definitely 3-0 in that category. We started the first half. I think we're 25 minutes in. Lightning in the area, so we had to wait 30 minutes for that to clear. Got to halftime. Started halftime, obviously game after halftime. Had another delay. At this point, I'm looking at we're really in the fourth quarter. Now that we're done with halves. We've had first, second. Now we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Nothing. Lightning. We actually were 12 minutes away from restarting the game at 5:12. But NCAA says after a 3-hour period, once you started, you must complete the game. So we're back to the old 12-minute rule like last year. We didn't get the game in, and so that was that. And ironically, or for a good thing, the guys got to get out and play about 15 minutes later.
Yeah, that was the strange thing about it. The men's team actually got to get out and play and got their game in completely. It was just a completely kind of a crazy weather situation that it just all happened to move through apparently at the time that y'all were on the field.
Timing was everything.
And just to refresh everyone's memory, a couple of years ago, that happened here when it was deemed by the officials that a game against Hardin-Simmons, the field was going to be unplayable due to some heavy rains that had come through. Everybody remembers that a couple of years ago. And then, of course, last year, a very similar situation with Louisiana College here. You guys were about 10 to 12 minutes away from it being an official game, and actually had a 3-0 lead in that one. So at least in this one, it was still 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to positive, at least you knew where you stood when it finished. So.
Well, ultimately, what that means is that now the entire standings again will be determined by winning percentage. That's per is that a conference? That's conference rule, right, or NCAA rule? I believe it's a conference rule. But anyway, the conference standings will be determined by winning percentage. Which has kind of worked in our favor and kind of gone against us a little bit. So we're 1-1 in that category. But all that aside, you did get back on the bus and travel down south and actually got a game in against Mary Hardin-Baylor and got a very tough win in against them down there Saturday.
Yeah, very tough, very big win for us. Very big win. Played well. Scored the first minute, actually 44 seconds. I've never, as far as I've been doing this, been involved in a game where you score in the first minute and held on for 89 minutes. So it had its moments, but the girls did a great job. They did a really great job on Saturday.
Yeah, just Mary Hardin-Baylor is annually one of those teams that you guys are constantly battling for one of those playoff spots in the top 6, and that's a really big win for y'all. I know it's early in the season, but for it to be on the road at their place, you got to feel, like you said, really proud of your team for being able to handle that.
I mean, you have to deal with that. I mean, Friday, you get in the hotel late, 12, 1 o'clock before you get to bed, get up and kind of resort yourself. But yeah, to beat Mary Hardin-Baylor at their place, on the road, all those things, you can't ask for anything better at this point.
Well, finally, the Tigers are back home this weekend after being on the road for a couple of weeks. Got couple of big matches coming up on Friday, of course, with Texas Lutheran coming in here at 4 o'clock, and then on Saturday against Shriner. Tell us a little bit about Texas Lutheran, first of all.
Texas Lutheran was a game, I feel like last year they beat us 2-1, but it was one of those games where it could have been 4-1 us. We didn't play the first 45 minutes. We go down 2 goals, score a goal right before halftime, and really play well the second half. The ball doesn't hit the back of the net for us. I'm hoping that's a little motivation for those that were part of that game last year. Obviously, a good team like us, always kind of battling to get in the conference tournament. Then we've got Shriner on Saturday. Again, up and coming program. Guys doing a great job of getting players in to make them successful. So there are no easy games. And so this weekend being tough, and then to be honest, we jump in and play again again on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a busy week for us.
Yeah, it's a 3-game homestand within the next week, starting today, which today being Tuesday, will be 3 games played in 7 days, and fortunately they're all at home. So again, a big weekend coming up for the Tigers. Still sitting at 4-0-1. I know Coach doesn't like us to mention that record out loud, but that's, it is what it is. 4-0-1, and like we always say every week, it's better than the alternative, isn't it?
That's true.
So again, everyone, please come out and support the Tigers on Friday. There'll be a soccer doubleheader going on, starting at 4 with the ladies' game against Texas Lutheran. I'd like to invite everyone out to Cornish Field, and we'll be back here next week, hopefully talking about another couple of victories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.